The displacement we're facing represents a potential collapse of our economic models. AI may remove far more jobs than it creates while simultaneously requiring fewer humans for economic production. Our entire economic framework rests on a fundamental assumption that has held true for centuries. Technological progress creates as many jobs as it eliminates. When tractors replaced farm workers, manufacturing expanded. When automation changed factories, service industries grew. This cycle has maintained overall employment through waves of technological change, giving us confidence that labor markets will always adjust. This technological revolution reverses historical patterns. Previous waves of automation targeted physical labor, pushing workers toward cognitive and service roles. AI automates cognitive work first, the very jobs that previously served as safe harbors for displaced workers. As one displaced financial analyst told us, "My entire career path disappeared in months. The skills I spent a decade perfecting are now handled better by algorithms." This creates an unprecedented dilemma. We must either discover entirely new categories of work that AI cannot perform, or reconsider economic systems that require most adults to sell their labor to obtain resources. The mathematics are sobering. Economic modeling shows that if AI performs 50% of current jobs more efficiently than humans, the labor market would need to double to maintain full employment. A mathematical impossibility in any realistic timeframe. Research from Oxford Economics projects that AI could displace 20 million manufacturing jobs alone by 2030. The speed of this displacement may force implementation of previously radical economic models. Universal basic income moves from theoretical proposal to practical necessity when traditional employment cannot support the population. Resource-based economies that distribute goods based on needs rather than labor contribution become viable as AI reduces human labor requirements. This economic transformation will likely prove more significant than the Industrial Revolution, requiring a complete reimagining of how we distribute resources and define productive contribution in society. The question isn't whether our economic systems will transform, but how intentionally we manage that transformation. Worldcoin and the case for universal basic income. The system's creation reflects a profound understanding of where AI is taking us. Worldcoin's founders, including Sam Altman, who also leads OpenAI, recognize that AI will likely displace so many jobs that traditional employment may become insufficient for distributing resources. They're actively building the practical infrastructure this future will require. While most discussions about AI focus on immediate job losses, some organizations are already building infrastructure for a post-work economy. Worldcoin has quietly enrolled over 2 million people in a global biometric identity system that uses iris scans to verify unique human identities. This system serves as preparation for a world where distinguishing humans from AI becomes essential for resource distribution. What makes this project particularly significant is that it represents a concrete acknowledgement from tech leaders that we're moving toward an economy where human labor may no longer be the primary means of production or distribution. The people creating AI understand its displacement potential better than anyone, and they're preparing for the economic consequences. The technical challenges of implementing UBI have always been significant. How do you prevent fraud? How do you ensure each person receives their allocation only once? How do you create a globally viable system? Projects like Worldcoin address these practical barriers by establishing biometric identity verification systems that can function as the backbone for resource distribution. Economic analyses increasingly support this view. As AI dramatically increases productivity while reducing labor requirements, direct distribution mechanisms may become necessary to maintain consumer spending and broader economic stability. When machines produce abundance but eliminate jobs, how do humans participate in the economy? Universal basic income becomes more an economic necessity than a political choice. These developments suggest universal basic income may transition from theoretical proposal to practical necessity faster than many anticipate. As AI productivity gains outpace our ability to create new human jobs, direct resource distribution becomes increasingly viable and necessary. This represents a profound shift in economic thinking, moving from labor-based distribution to a system where economic participation is a birthright, rather than earned through employment. Are we losing meaning and purpose? Throughout human history, work has been much more than a paycheck. It provides identity, community, and a sense of contribution to society. When someone asks, "What do you do?" they're really asking, "Who are you?" Our occupations have become central to our identity and self-worth in ways we rarely acknowledge until they're threatened. As AI begins taking over more forms of productive work, we face a crisis more profound than unemployment. Millions may experience an existential vacuum when their professional identities disappear. This represents a fundamental loss of purpose that money alone cannot replace. Consider Sarah, a 52-year-old radiologist who spent decades mastering her craft. When AI systems surpassed her diagnostic accuracy, she didn't just lose income, she lost her professional identity. "I used to save lives," she told researchers. "Now I feel invisible." Humans have an intrinsic need to feel useful. We require a sense that our actions matter and that we contribute meaningfully to our communities. These psychological needs have traditionally been satisfied through careers, which provided structures for contribution and recognition. The evidence from communities affected by automation is troubling. When coal mines closed in Appalachia or manufacturing disappeared from the Midwest, those regions saw rising rates of depression, substance abuse, and suicide. These were existential crises when entire ways of life lost meaning. The profound challenge ahead may be reimagining what gives human life meaning when traditional work no longer serves that function. We must develop new sources of purpose outside economic productivity, a transformation requiring changes in how we understand ourselves and our place in society. Our culture has long equated human value with productive output. When that equation fails in an AI economy, we'll need new frameworks for understanding human worth. This pattern reveals something crucial. Even solving economic challenges through universal basic income would still leave the deeper psychological need for purpose unfulfilled. Financial stability cannot provide the meaning humans require to thrive.